So, most people went out on Monday for their trainer trucks. I did not. I had the privilege of having my own hotel room, which was wonderful. Come back Tuesday. I went into the training area, into the room, and this is where it got interesting. There's 7, maybe 10 of us waiting to get on trainer trucks left or waiting to get assigned their driver truck, their own truck if they were experienced drivers. Well, at this time, trainees that just got off of their driver trucks started trickling in, 1 or 2 at a time. And so I started hearing stories of their trainer experiences. Some were great, some were just like insane, like terrible. Some were, medium, just kind of just suck it up and deal with it. And then I started hearing of the attrition rate on the trainer trucks. So this class before me, I was just listening to these guys and talking to them. Now, I don't know, maybe they had 20 guys went, these aren't solid numbers, but they only had like 10 of them get off their trainer trucks. People just get out there and are like, forget it, I'm done. People literally got out of the truck at a truck stop and just, I'm done. Packed their crap and took off. I don't know, it was hard. I heard these guys talking and I was like, oh my God, what's going to happen? I'm like, please God, let me have a good trainer. Please God, let me have a good trainer. I get a text message. All right, here's your trainer. I'm not going to say names, Here's your trainer. 23 years old dude. My son is 23 years old. And he's got a dog. And it seemed like we had some things in common. I'm like, cool. A dog to break the, monotony. 23-year-old, dang, he just started. But hey, whatever, because I get along with 23-year-olds. So I get flown out to Sacramento on a Wednesday. All right, fine, traveling, fun. I enjoy California. Some people don't like it. I actually enjoy it out there. Thursday morning, I'm told, hey, Uber's picking you up. You're going to meet your driver trainer at 7 a.m. and that's it. Take all your stuff. So I'm like, oh God, how's this going to go down? Where are you going to find this? Where are we going? How's this work? Well, pull in. Uber pulls me into this place. There's my trainer truck with stuff on the trailer. And I'm like, oh, I guess this is me. So I'm waddling over there, carrying all this crap, put it down by the truck. Here comes a guy with a Melton orange shirt on, introduce ourselves, shake hands, see a dog, a big old dog, staring at me from inside the truck. And I was like, all right, so open the door, dog licks me or whatever, throw my crap up in there, put my gloves on, and he says, here, let's start pulling the straps. And he's got this huge load of aluminum something or another for windows or making something from Mexico that he hauled all the way in from Mexico to Sacramento, California. So I was kind of excited. And this guy, he's got this fast little drill thing to make the straps, spin up and spool up fast. He's showing me stuff. Pretty cool, watch these guys, taking the stuff off. We're just chatting. And gosh, it wasn't 9 o'clock. 2 hours later, we're all set. Walk around the truck. He's teaching me, always walk around the truck. Don't leave anything out. And he's like, hey, you feel like driving? I was like, yeah, I had plenty of sleep. My thought was, hey, the more I drive, the more he sees I can do stuff, I'll get off his truck sooner. No. I'm like, sure, whatever, 9:30, Sacramento. How bad can it be, right? He gets a Qualcomm, a little message coming in. Oh, we've got a 650 mile deadhead to Salt Lake City. Yeah, a whole day of driving, nothing on the trailer. The reason they did this is because it was a trainer truck. They don't usually do that. You sit and you wait for a load to get you out. But they knew he had a trainee on that truck, and any driving I did was good training. All right, so I did Donner Pass my first day. I was in Sacramento, California traffic my first hour. Then I hauled ass up Donner Pass, hauled ass down, slowed down Donner Pass, empty trailer, all right, Freightliner Cascadia. So I'm learning Jake brakes, learning all this stuff, automated transmission, easy peasy. I loved it. It was great. It was a beautiful day, and I got to see Sierra Madre, Donner Pass. I've been over it a couple of times. Beautiful. And I just drove all day, drove almost, I think, 500 miles, stopped in Wells, Nevada at a truck stop, and spent the night there. Now let me tell you about the first night. All right, so we get there 3 or 4, 5 o'clock. Little Love's truck stop. We get free showers at Love's. Melton also. Melton gets free showers, free sodas, free ice at Love's. It's another benefit. You don't got to buy a lot of fuel before that. We pull up there, go take a shower, learning all this stuff. And it's part of the training. You're not only learning to drive, you're learning how it works. You got to fuel, shower. How do you feed yourself? You're going to go buy some junk in the truck stop. You got fast food. You got healthy options too. The hard part was the going to sleep part. So we have mid-roof trucks. It was 25 inches. You're lying on your side, 25 inches. All right, I'm a small dude. I weigh 180 pounds and I'm 5'10". All right, the bunk's 8 feet, or I don't know, 7 feet 6 inches. And all your crap is on the bunk. All right, so when they say pack light, your suitcase and all your crap, you don't get any storage. You don't get a closet. You don't get the fridge. You don't get anything. All right? All your crap goes in the bunk with you, beside you, at your feet. So if you're tall or you're a big dude, there are some big dudes. There are some 300-pound muscle dudes that could lift that tarp like it was a grocery bag of paper. And I don't know how in the hell they fit, because their shoulders were 25 inches big. And I don't know how they did it. And people had bags and bags and bags of clothes, and I don't know how they did it. I mean, I was sleeping, like this. Anyway, it was tough. Went to sleep, and I'm claustrophobic, and you close these little curtains because the air conditioning is running, the truck's running, it's 100 degrees, air conditioning's running. You close these little curtains, you don't have a whole hell of a lot of room, and then the truck turns on and off at night because of these opti-idle things. All right, you're going to sleep, all nice, fine, motor, putting you to sleep, and all of a sudden the engine dies because it's cool enough and the batteries are charged to run the air conditioning by itself. And it goes, and you wake up 2 hours. You went to sleep at 9, 8, and you get woken up at 11. And if you're like me, you're like, what just happened? And you hit your head because you got 25 inches. You hit your head and you're like, oh my God. Oh, I have a panic attack and jump out. I had to jump out, open the curtains. It's hot. The front of the cab is hot. And I'm like, oh my God, what just happened? Thought somebody had hit the truck. It wasn't. It was just the stupid engine turning off. Well, I don't know what to do now. So I can't go back to sleep. I'm anxiety, panic attack from claustrophobia. And I'm like, well, I guess I'll go pee. So then you walk over to the truck stop and go pee. And like, oh my God, I can't do this. I'm going to quit. I can't do this. Get back on the truck and chill yourself out and curl up in the bunk. Try to go back to sleep. I had these little earbuds. Thank God the dog was quiet. And the dog was like licking me or something. And my trainer, he didn't snore or anything. He didn't mind. He's like, dude, you're fine. Don't worry about it. You get used to it. It's okay. And the lights come on, when you open the door. So we turned all that off. I was really worried the first few nights. And, I told the trainer, and he was like, oh, don't worry about it. It's all good. You just do what you got to do, So it worked out. That calmed me down. And I had my little earbuds, and so I'd wake up and I'd put like a little, lame YouTube video to put me to sleep or something. And I'd go back to sleep. So that first week, I tell you what, that first week was so hard. I want to say, let's just put this out there. I wanted to quit probably 50 or 60 times those 3 weeks. All right? Because it was hard. It was harder than nobody ever says how hard it is. Everybody on all this training is all, blowing smoke up your rear end, that it's all roses and daisies. Well, it's not. It's hard. The first 2 weeks are hard to me. And the 3 weeks on the trainer truck are very difficult. All right. So I don't know. You got to be able to deal with some difficult situations. You're driving, you're learning to sleep. I have a thing about peeing. Am I going to drink too much because it's 100 degrees out and have to pee all night and wake up and get out of the truck, in and out of the truck 3 times and walk to the truck stop? What about eating? Am I going to eat something? Then all of a sudden, you're driving down Donner Pass. There's nowhere to stop. You got to, go number 2. You know what I mean? So I didn't eat. I dehydrated myself. I didn't eat. I only ate once a day, maybe 1,000 calories at the most. Are you going to be stopped somewhere where there's actually a bathroom? You could stop on the side of the road and you can go do number 2 out in the bushes, or I don't know. I didn't know. So luckily we were always somewhere with bathrooms. Everything was fine, but it's still a hassle. You got to get up, you got to go out, get out of the truck. You don't know what's going on, or God forbid you get stuck in traffic and then that burrito hits. Like, oh my God, it's a terrible feeling. It's always fear. The claustrophobia, most people don't have that, but I have it, and there's a lot of anxiety. And guess what happened to me on the second day of driving? We get into Utah. We came out of, woke up tired, just like, God, what the hell's happened? We go out of Wells, we get into Utah, and then I'll show you these little bypass drive-wise little modules that go off when you skip a scale. Everybody's seen the scales on the freeway for the trucks. Well, we all have them. We have them in there. It says bypass, bypass, bypass. Well, this didn't say bypass. It was like 5:30 or 6 in the morning, and I got pulled in to the scale on my second morning of driving. We pull in, and the lady hollers over the intercom, "Pull into inspection bay 1." I heard like a, "Oh my God," come out of my trainer. And I was like, okay, fuck, I'm sorry. Okay, not good. Well, let's go to inspection bay 1 and see what happens. I pull in. The guy just clocked in. He wants his first level 1 inspection of the day, which means he's going to check everything on that truck, including my license, all the paperwork, every light, every hose, every brake line, every tire, top to bottom on that truck is a level 1 inspection. Yeah, well, I was always afraid of that. Well, guess what? I just got it out of the way the first day, my second day of driving. So the guy was nice. He helped me out during the whole process. And guess what? The truck was 99.9% okay, except for the ABS check light that only comes on when you turn the engine off and turn it back on, or you unplug it to see if it works. It only comes on for 2 or 3 seconds. And it's way at the back of the trailer, and it's not something hardly anybody ever thinks about. Well, that didn't work on our trailer. So we unplugged the plug, plugged it back in, didn't work, did it 3 times. Couldn't check it on our pre-trip because it's too hot. We didn't turn the engine on and off and all this, Anyway, long story short, I got an infraction on my license my second day of driving. Yes, I already have points taken off of my license, against my license, on my second day of driving. So my trainer gets back in, he goes, "Man, I feel bad about that." I'm like, "Yeah, you feel bad. Well, now I can't be hired by people because they don't want you if you have points against your license on my second day." So anyway, I was kind of down in the dumps, to say the least. So whatever, keep driving 2 or 3 hours, get to this place down in Tule, Utah. We're picking up a hazmat load. And the trainer's like, "Oh my God, a hazmat load. Do you have your hazmat?" I'm like, "Well, yes, I have my hazmat. I got my hazmat. I get my licenses. I'm a real trucker. I got my hazmat." He goes, "Oh, good, then you can drive." Because before he had a trainee who didn't have his hazmat. So he drove for a week while the trainee sat in the truck. So we're sitting there. It's 100 degrees out. We're waiting to get paperwork in this place with 4 other Melton trucks. And I'm having this major anxiety attack because, we're trying to strap this thing down, hazmat load, trying to get the paperwork. and I'm wigging out because I just got 2 or 3 or 4 points or whatever on my license on my second day. Couldn't sleep. Anyway, I'm wigging out a little bit, walking around in circles, exercising, started an exercise program. Got it all strapped down, did our thing, thank God we didn't tarp it, and we took it to San Antonio. So we dropped the trailer with the no light at the trailer repair shop, go pick up this trailer that's already loaded. It's got a bad tire or something on it. So we're trying to find a tire for it. Well, then they're like, oh yeah, drive it to the tire shop. Well, we're driving a trailer that's technically not legal, or mediocre gray area because of that tire blew or something. Anyway, so we end up driving it over to the shop and they fix it there. So that was another little gray area. Maybe it's, good or bad. I mean, not a lot of wiggle room, but I was already stressed out. But not a good start. All right. So we get there, nice little truck stop. I get to walk around some. I get chilled out. We get the trailer fixed. It's leaking air out of it. We get that figured out. We get a workaround, and we got to go to San Antonio. So thank God I got 2 or 3 days of driving. Go through the pretty mountains down through Moab, down into Texas, down to San Antonio, and we get to our delivery spot, and it's a hospital getting a roof put on, and like flatbed, it can be a construction site. I'm looking around like I don't see a loading dock. It's in the parking lot, so you got to wiggle your way through and back up, and that's what flatbedding is. So that went well. Got unloaded. Got sent down to Laredo. We got sent down to Laredo, which is a big terminal for Melton. And you kind of get down there and get stuck because there's 18 or 30 something drivers waiting to get back out. And you get loads coming in from Mexico or going down to Mexico. And that's a big interchange. And I liked it there. It was hot, but they had a nice little terminal. Got to eat, got to shower, hung out in air conditioning, didn't have to sit in the truck, talked to some other drivers, pet me up. Thanks Zachary. Zachary gave me a big pep talk. So thanks to Zachary for helping me out that day when I was down. That was the first week. So there's a lineup of 18 or 20, 30 people down in Laredo. And because we're a trainer truck, we got worked in to load going to Portland. We had cement mixers on the back of a truck going to Portland. So Portland, Oregon. So like, wow, that's kind of cool, and it's pretty easy to strap. And it's 102 degrees. The nice thing was the safety guy came around in a golf cart and handed us ice water out of an icy cooler and made us drink. I thought it was awesome. They cared about you. Laredo, it's kind of hard. Texas driving is kind of hard. Figuring out things in Laredo. I made some mistakes, but survived. And you got to go in and get inspected. And they're always looking for alcohol down there. So you can't have alcohol in your trucks. So remember that. But you go in, you get inspected, get looked at, you go get in line. Got shopping and other stuff and food down there. We got a load going out, and I drove to Portland, Oregon. Stayed there. Beautiful drive, easy, loved it, had a good time. Things are looking up, getting the hang of sleep, learning how to do it, learning how to get gas, you're fueling, doing the car, fuel cards. Went to Portland, tight, small little truck stop. Dirty, smelled like pee, but it was the only thing within 30 miles of Portland, pretty crowded place, so we stayed there. We got there a day early, so I got to go before we delivered, so I got to go on a little walk around the old town over there and loved it, had a great time, got to see some nature. Wonderful time in Troutdale, Oregon, where it's a truck stop we stayed at. Delivered our mixer bowls. Funny thing about the cement mixers, every day I had to get up on the trailer and check for people being smuggled inside or hiding inside the mixers. And I had to crawl through the trailer, the bottom of the trailer, to check. Anyway, delivered our mixers. Got another load 60 miles away, carrying lumber. Got a full load of lumber. It was 79,820 pounds of total weight. Anyway, big load of lumber at the end of a road in the mountains. That went all the way back to Dallas, Texas. Then we got another load back out to Los Angeles. And then we went to Mesa, Arizona, and brought that load to Denver. And then in Denver, that was my 3 weeks, my 21 days. And they took me off the truck, and I flew back to Tulsa to get my own truck. I got there on a Thursday afternoon, got to the hotel, reported for duty with all my stuff Friday morning, and you go back in and you'll take a little test. Well, if you paid attention, you can pass it pretty easy, but it's fill in the blanks. They're going to look at your logs. I forgot to tell you, the whole time you're with your driver trainer, you have to fill out paper logs, and they have to be darn accurate. They're going to get rid of you. They want you to, and by the end of the 3 weeks, you can do paper logs. I needed to go over my macros more. I'm struggling with the macros, but I'm getting it figured out. So if you get on a trainer truck, do your paperwork every day, and learn macros and make sure they're teaching you all the macros. Arrive to shipper, arrive to stops, loaded call, whatever you got. I learned a breakdown. We broke down 2 times. I learned the breakdown macro 2418. Anyway, I learned that. If you think you're going to go by your house because the route might lead you by your house, they're not going to let you go by your house because people just get off the truck at the house. And one guy in my training class got sent to Casper, which was close to my hometown of Laramie, Wyoming. He got sent to Casper to get on his truck. I got sent to Sacramento, which is where he lived. So they send you places to where maybe you're not going to bail. It's not as easy to bail. That's my thought anyway. Because you think a lot of times you're done. You're like, forget this. I'll go drive a local truck or go drive a van or a reefer, refrigerated unit, or I'll just drive a local truck because this is hard stuff. All right, and as we go along, I'll show you some of the stuff we do on flatbed, and you can see how difficult it can be. But on the positive side, during training for 3 weeks, I learned a whole lot. I got comfortable, made a lot of mistakes. Nobody got hurt. No small animals were harmed. I lost, 5-10 pounds. Got to where I'm comfortable with securement. I can tarp now. Backing, man, I'll tell you, I still can't back in tight parking spots in the truck stops, and it brings me severe anxiety. I gotta look for an easy spot, or I just can't do it. And our trailers buck. They're hard to back, especially when they're loaded. So some places I just can't get into it. So I got to start early. We start at 2 a.m. sometimes, 3 a.m., 4 a.m. and you drive until 12 or 1, and so you get a parking spot because parking is a challenge. So your sleep schedule, I thought I was just going to do a 5:30 to 6, stop at 4 or 5. Well, that doesn't work all the time because you're too far away. If you're 200 miles from a drop-off, you got to get up at 2 or 3 a.m. and drive in the night. I don't like driving at night. You got to drive through the night. That's what I found out. But once we did it a few times, I kind of got used to it. So it ended up not being that big of a deal. And the trucks, this Freightliner I drove, it literally steered itself. It would actually take the steering wheel out of your hand and follow the road. Have some weird hiccups every now and then, but it halfway drove and take pictures of the speed limit where you were. We had GPS going, so a lot of that worked out pretty well. We had a couple of weird little things happen, but more or less, it was good. And with the flatbed community, people help you. The other flatbedders will help you back in. All the places we dropped, everybody was pretty respectful and pretty understanding, and they come out, they're ready for you. You get there early, they're ready to unload you. Box trucks and the refrigerated side, they don't necessarily get that respect from the shippers or receivers, so or each other, I guess. So it seems to be a good fit. You're sure as heck not going to get fat doing flatbed. So you're going to have a workout, you're active. We actually have to stop every 3 hours or 150 miles, stop our truck and get out and walk around check our tires and check our straps and check our tarps. Melton Policy, and they're going to check our little Qualcomm and check the GPS, I guess. I don't know, they're going to look and see if you're doing it. I mean, it's roughly 3 hours, 150 miles. So it's another positive of flatbed in Melton is that they care. You got to stop the first hour, get out. So that means you're not, the refrigerated and box trucks, you can drive 7 or 8 hours before you have to stop. It's not good for your health. Flatbed, you got to get out. You got to walk around the truck. Time to exercise, go pee. You got to do it every 3 hours, 150 miles or so. You're always doing it, and it makes you feel good. You're always looking at your load. But if you get out and you're like, oh well, that strap's good, So they have policies. Melton has policies in place to where we don't lose loads, and it makes you not worry as much. So I did 21 days, got sent back, reviewed. Everybody starts treating you with more and more respect as you go. You survived, you got back. Hey, Paul, welcome back. You're getting treated better and better and better. And I got back, and I did ask the guys that were sitting there with me. I was like, what happened to so-and-so, or did you hear about so-and-so? People just got on the train, just left. They just quit. They quit here and there, quit there. So I don't know, I'm thinking 10 or 12 of us out of 20, 21 got to our own trucks. So it's a pretty high dropout rate. So we started with 59. I'm guessing ending up with 10 or 11 got off of trainer trucks. Overall, for the trucking industry, the replacement attrition rate is 125, 150%. Meaning, you hire 100 drivers, you got 150 of them are going to quit, and it doesn't make sense. But they hire a whole lot of people because a whole lot more people quit than want to stay. So Melton doesn't have that high of attrition ratio. I'm not going to say what it is because I think it's private policy. But there's a lot of people don't make it. So, a lot of people go on to get their own trucks for higher paying, but it's hard work. Easy to get, a lot of guys are getting injured with like a foot or a hand or a shoulder. So I can understand, the difficulties involved, but I'm going to keep trying. I waited 2 days. I get flown to Ohio, Missouri, Ohio, and I get assigned a truck. I get assigned a load. I drive from Ohio over to Arkansas, over to Denver area, up to Cheyenne, emptied the truck, and I got home time. It only took 5 or 6 days. I get my home time, and that's where we're at now. I got home time. I took it over Labor Day weekend, so it's a really long home time. But now we've got the truck sitting here in Laramie. Connie's going to come with me. I'm ready to go. It's loaded, ready for our little home on wheels. And I want you guys, if you're interested, just follow us, like, subscribe, come see what adventures we have. It's all new to us too. So we're going to take you with us, and we'll all learn as we go. Thank you for watching.